My money don't jiggle, jiggle. It folds, I like to see you wiggle, wiggle. For show, it makes me wanna dribble, dribble. You know, riding in my Fiat, you really have to see it. 6'2" in a compact, no slack. Luckily the seats fold back. I've got a knack to relax in my mind, sipping on some red wine. Let's ride. We want to ride shotgun with you for the next hour. Talkin Truckin with Dean and Doty, Christian and Kumar. Episode 60, baby.
Kid Russ.
Yeah. This is officially my first, or this is officially my 2-week notice.
That is the whitest thing I've ever seen.
You know you have Slim Shady here in the office. He could have rapped for you.
Yeah, his head looks like a light bulb.
Oh, man, that was good.
Nobody knew what was coming but me and Kumar. Kumar even dropped the beats last night.
I was trying. I had to pull out a royalty-free one, but I was trying to make one myself.
Yeah.
Didn't work.
Well, joining us on the show, Slim Shady, on the news.
Hello.
The famous Kumar.
Hello.
Austin, our previously night dispatcher, but now day dispatcher. Austin, what's up?
No, my mic's muted.
Oh, he's muted.
It's not a good start, bub.
Hey, what's
Yeah.
up?
His mic's on.
Ray, where you at, Ray?
I'm actually going over the bridge in what's it called, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Going over this bridge right now.
Baton Rouge. Jim Mackey, where you at?
I am in Cartersville, Georgia.
And we know Nate is at home. I had to call him and remind him that it was time.
Yep. I'm in Shelbyville.
And then Kevin is
In
in
Warrenton, Missouri.
Yep. Where there's hardly any flatbed freight.
More like misery
We were
today.
looking all day.
Yeah.
And then the original Florida man, Mike Doty, from Tarpon Springs, Florida, at the Fish Stalker Studio. What's up, Mike?
What's up?
And on sports, as always, Mr. Encyclopedia of Sporting News, K-Pasta Joel Howell. Joel, what's up, buddy?
What's happening?
So we'll do trucking news with Ian, the wide world of sports with Joel, and then our drivers will battle Kumar with trucking questions. We threw in a few fishing questions because, as I said last week, and you might have saw it on TikTok, the summer fishing contest, $500 first prize, second prize, $300, and what, Kumar, $150 third prize?
Yep.
From now till Labor Day. It's been going on a week. So get that out there. Send your pictures in to Kumar, to the show. Put it on the TikTok. Put it on the Facebook, however you want to get it in. And you can enter more than once. Maybe we should put a limit, like 2 or 3 entries or something like that.
Maybe 3.
Just keep it cool.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Yeah. And follow us on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and Spotify. So, what's been going on, guys? It's been kind of fun. Been busy up here. We had some things we can go over that I want to remind drivers about when you're using PC. Me and Mike can talk to you about that in a little bit. But how's it been going in Roanoke, Christian?
Oh, great. We had a huge storm here about an hour and a half ago. Washed out half the parking lot.
Wow.
So that's good. Yeah, but freight's been there in certain areas and not in most as far as transportation goes. We'll pick that up in a bit. But
Yeah.
got the team coming back in the office from a little bit of remodel stuff. Should be next Friday. So
Yeah, how's it look?
it doesn't look like a prison anymore.
You got rid of the cells?
No more. Got rid of the cells and the cinder block walls. So
The shower block?
You're not.
we kept the shower block.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, it was
You're not
everyone's
gonna
favorite.
handcuff them to their desk anymore.
The guard shack outside, though.
You look like a retired guard, Joel. Were you in law
Guard
enforcement?
tower.
No, the tower. I know my neighbor was concerned. He's like, "Hey, man, that camera you had up front, you took it down. You plan on putting it back up? I like it because it looks after my stuff." And I had to break his heart. I said, "It points in your general direction, but it covers the entrance with a license plate reader. It doesn't cover your house at all. Like it's very calculated." He's like, "Oh, so It doesn't look after my stuff. I said, no, but you're there to look after your stuff.
At least you didn't find out the hard way.
Right.
So Joel, you've been watching the NBA Finals?
Oh, is that it? Is that on?
Yeah.
Okay, to be fair, I literally had no idea it was going on, and
Yeah, me neither.
Joel filled me in.
I am. The Childs are going to be going crazy tonight.
Yeah, it's tonight, Game 3.
Game 3, yeah.
Yeah.
Want to cover it?
Yeah, since they're 1-1, Christian, you want some action on this? I might be able to get you to finally lose.
Where are they playing? Because you
So
owe me
they're-
50 from last week, right? Or you technically you owe
The
St.
series is tied 1-1,
Mm-hmm.
and Golden State split. The first 2 games were in Golden State, and they split them. So they're back in Boston for Game 2 or Game 3 tonight.
Game 3.
And who do you want?
I don't like either team, so it's really difficult for me. I hate Boston, and I don't like Golden State either. But I got to go. I'd take Boston.
Because
3.5.
Clay
All
can't
right, you
shoot.
can pick.
Clay
If you
can't
want
shoot on
Boston-
the road, right, Joel? Clay
It-
has a problem shooting on the road.
The split. Clay,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
hasn't been hot even at home the last couple of games. So
Yeah.
Clay,
Thompson, yeah.
he could probably beat me 1-on-1. I don't know. Maybe.
Hey, Russ, I'll put it this way. I'll do $20 a game for the rest of the series, but you give me the home team every time.
No.
It's like 80-20 Child fans.
Yeah, I'll take
You can pick your team. I don't really care because I hate both teams.
really? Okay, I'll take Celtics at home then. No problem.
Okay, I'll take
Yep.
Golden State.
Oh, you're going to lose, Russ.
It's a tied series, so now we're down to a 5-game series.
This is a one-gamer, though, not the series.
Yeah. No, we're talking about the series.
Oh, these series.
No, the whole series. I was talking about tonight's game.
No, I'm talking about the series, the NBA Finals. Who's going to win? It's basically tied up. We got 5 games left.
Good match.
You want Boston? I'll give you Boston. I'll take either team. You want Golden State? I'll take Boston. I don't care.
I'll take Golden State for the series.
Golden State?
Yeah, for the series, Golden
Okay,
State.
50 to St. Jude's.
50 to St. Jude's. You want to do
I'll
a little? You want to do 20 on tonight's game? I'll take Boston.
Okay, I'll do that too.
Okay, just hedging my bet. Like that.
He's not that flexible with the brokers.
Kumar, write that down.
50 to St.
20
Christians.
tonight. He's got Boston. And then series, I got Boston. He's got Golden State Warriors.
Golden State. Yep.
Okay, 20 tonight on the game. He's got Boston.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that goes to St. Jude's. I lost. Everybody knows I lost the $50 bet with Christian on.
Have you ever won a bet?
I don't think so. Not with Christian.
No.
Christian,
No. There's always a first. We're only
That's
60
only me he
episodes
wins
in.
all
And
the time with.
2
I have
years
to
of
go.
gambling.
I have to go bet a 80-1 Derby horse to get my money back from all
And you
the.
only put $5 on that. You could have
Sneak
retired
bets.
if you did that one right.
In steakhouses. Yeah.
So Joel, let's talk about some sports real quick, and we'll get into trucking.
All right, let's do it. What's up, guys? I am back. I'm Joel, and we were talking about the NBA Finals. What they're talking about is Game 3 tonight in Boston. The series is tied, 1 game apiece, very evenly matched. Tonight, the Celtics are favorite, 3.5. The over and under is 212. I think they'll go over on that one. But yeah, 2 games in Boston. Games 3 and 4, 5 back in NoCal, and we'll see how it goes. It's evenly matched. I think they got a good bet. So, I think Boston's going to win, though, the series. But that's just me. All right, moving off of basketball, going over to the NHL. Also, the playoffs, the Final 4, well, actually 3 out west. Colorado 6, Edmonton 5. That game was last night. Edmonton was up 5-3 in their building. Colorado comes back in overtime, wins it, takes the series 4-0, wins the West, and they will take on winner Tampa Bay New York Rangers. Tampa Bay 4, New York Rangers 1 last night. Series tied back up at 2. Home games, home teams winners in that series. Series moves back to New York. Game 5 tomorrow night. All right, over in baseball. National League East. Not much has changed. New York Mets still on top at 38-20. In the Central, Milwaukee Brewers 33-24. Game and a half lead on St. Louis. And the National League West, LA Dodgers dropped 3 in a row, but they're still up a game and a half over San Diego. American League East, New York Yankees still on top. Best in the bigs at, can you hear me?
Yeah.
New York Yankees on top, best in the bigs at 40-15. What is wrong with my mic? 40-15.
This is the best we've ever heard you, Joel.
Yeah, this is loud
Sound
and clear.
great.
Yeah. So whatever sucks on your end, keep it up.
Yeah.
Except for my rates. All right, in the Central, Minnesota Twins 32-25, and out west, Houston 36-20. Over in, well, quick note in the NFL, here we are in the middle of the off season. Rumor has it that Walmart heir to buy the Broncos for, anybody want to take a guess?
$12.75.
I know.
A little bit more.
Yeah.
A little bit more.
I think you turned mine down, Kumar.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I think they bumped the rate on this one.
I think he bumped the buttons on that soundboard.
4.65
billion.
with a B.
Yeah.
Oh,
With a
what?
B. A lot of cheese.
The
for
most-
a football team.
There it goes again. Something.
I'm sorry.
The most money that any sports team ever in the history of sports sold for.
Which
That's
just means
crazy.
every other team just got twice whatever their asking point was
Yeah,
going to
right.
be.
That means the ticket prices just went up.
No offense, Nikki.
I wonder if he used it in crypto. All right. Also, Drew Brees leaving NBC. And
Yeah. Did they say why?
no. Maybe he's coming back. The Browns need a quarterback. No. Brees to leave NBC, and the Browns to Christian rename their end zone to the end zone.
Oh no.
All right,
Joel. We
That-
gotta air horn that.
They didn't get the joke. All right,
He got it.
Oh, yeah.
Other news in
10,000
sports.
people are gonna get it.
Over in my teleprompter went bad, y'all. Sorry. Over in golf. All right, let's talk a little golf. This weekend, June 9th through the 12th, RBC Canadian Open in Toronto. Our top 5 rounding out. Number 5, Colin Morikawa.
Morikawa.
Only 4 more weeks, and I'll get that right. Number 4, Cameron Smith. Number 3, Patrick Cantlay. Number 2, John Rahm. And
Rom.
top Rom. And at number 1, Scotty Scheffler.
Just think of this, Joel, because I know you like this. Think of
Usechi Crown.
ramen, like you eat for lunch a lot. Ramen.
Sorry about that, John.
Rom.
That's not what I'm comparing you to. All right, over in NASCAR, 612 this weekend, Sonoma, California, Sonoma Raceway. Top 5 in the standings. Chase Elliott in the number 9 Chevy UniFirst car, Hendricks Motorsports. Number 4, Denny Hamlin in the 11 Toyota FedEx Gibbs Racing.
Who's in the Skittles car?
Number 3 in the Skittles, William Byron, the number 24 Chevy. Wonder who's ever drove that before. Number 24 Chevy Hertz, also in Hendricks Motorsports.
24, isn't that the
Liberty.
no, the real popular
Jeff Gordon.
Jeff Gordon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
That was the Skittles car, right?
No, the Mary Kay.
Mary Kay car.
Right. Number 2, Joey Logano in the number 22 Ford, the Shell Pennzoil and Team Penske. And rounding off number 1, Ross Chastain. Number 1, Chevy Gear Wrench, Hendricks Motorsports. It is June, folks, and there's not a lot going on. I know we got the USFL championship coming up here to Canton. They played all year in Birmingham, and they will be having that championship game up here in Canton July the 3rd. And guys, that's about
So have you-
it in sports.
Mike or Christian or Joel, have you guys heard anything about the new golf league? Is it the Leave League or whatever? It's
The Live League?
Live League.
LAV? I'm not sure what that is.
You're muted, Mike.
Yeah, I have saw that.
A lot of
I'm
people
sorry,
are
I'm on
leaving
the
for it,
phone. DJ is Dustin Johnson is
And Phil
resigned
Mickelson.
from the PGA Tour.
Phil Mickelson. I heard Phil Mickelson got $200 million to join.
Yeah, they're
That
giving
was-
out all kinds
that
of
was
money.
Watson. No, okay.
They have all
I
that
heard,
oil money, I guess. It's a Saudi Arabian golf league.
I heard Tiger turned down almost $1 billion with a B.
Wow.
It makes you wonder how much he actually makes. He's
Oh,
going
he's-
to turn down that much.
Tiger's got to be a billionaire with all the endorsements and all the things he's
His watch.
won. Yeah.
Yeah, he was like LeBron James before LeBron James, basically.
Yeah.
Hey, Joel, speaking of golf, you didn't cover who won the Brady, Rogers, Mahomes.
I didn't, did I?
Yeah, I
No, you
lost
didn't
the
cover
bet.
that. If you could, I mean, I just
Another
not doing it for that. I
bet.
just love to hear about that.
Yeah.
I do believe Brady and Rogers
They won.
defeated
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. I think they had more women there.
Was it a 15-foot putt by Rogers, Russ? Is that what you sent me? You texted me. Was that what it was? I forgot
You
all
know,
about it. Then I get this random angry text from Russ. I'm like, oh, I guess I won again.
Yeah. I was like, I lost to a Snead again. I text him.
As
Did
I
it
do
come
not
down
have
to
a
the
game. I
last
do not
hole,
have a
Russ?
gambling problem. The first time I lose, I'll stop. But if you're gonna win, just keep doing it, right? When the hand's hot, keep
Does
playing.
not have a gambling problem.
And just so everybody knows, we gamble and donate it to
charity.
our charities. So
Yeah.
that went to St. Jude's. But
Otherwise,
I should
would
have known
put a pool
better
in my
because
backyard.
Brady and Rogers, they golf a lot, and this isn't their first year on that thing, but they golf a lot. And Allen and Mahomes, I mean, they do, but I mean, they're young. They don't have the experience, and I should have known better. But
Yeah, well, you can always learn.
so
Watch this next year.
Kevin, are you there?
Yeah.
So Kumar said, get the beats going. He said you got some country rap for us.
I don't have no country rap.
I got a country rap beat right here.
Yeah, I had to make it and everything last night for you.
Tell him to hit it up.
The banjo and the Jews harp, it's all in there.
What about you, Nate? You got any country rap for Talkin Truckin?
No.
I thought Nate could just freestyle, bring it.
No.
My name is Nate, and I'm feeling kind of great. But I'm really kind of mad because of all these rates.
There we go.
Put it on an album.
Mackie, where you been lately?
It's platinum.
I've been all over.
Where at?
Oh, geez. No, and since I left home in Texas, I've gone almost 10,000 miles. I left there, went to Atlanta, then to Cleveland, back to North Carolina, then went out to Washington, back to Bismarck, and then I went to Iowa, spent holiday with Mom.
Did you stop
Went to
here?
Pennsylvania.
Stopped here after
stopped
that?
There. Went
Saw
to
us.
Pennsylvania. Then from Pennsylvania, I went to Michigan, and now I'm down here in Georgia.
Oh,
I
it's
guess
hot
I'm
down
going
there,
up to North Carolina and then back out to Montana and Grand Junction, Colorado. And then
Kumar,
guess
you got him moving.
Yeah. I got him planned
Then
out.
guess what?
stack
I
through
get to
August.
go home.
Yeah, keep him away from home, Kumar. Doing
Deal.
a good job. That's what you're paid for. Ray,
Yeah.
you still at home?
No, I'm gone already. I left
Oh, okay.
yesterday.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, actually, I left this morning.
Yeah. Did you have some grilled cactus while you were there?
Grilled cactus. No, we picked some up at the restaurant down the street,
Yeah.
and
you br-
that's about it.
Did you bring my frozen HEB tortillas?
No, not this time. What's it called? We were gonna do it, but we got really busy with some stuff, and I'm not gonna lie, I forgot.
Yeah, I knew it.
Because they were busy.
Waiting a year for these tortillas.
So ashamed.
It's on back
Yeah,
order.
but we should well, I guess depending on what happens whenever I come out again, when I'm gonna stay out until I go to vacation and go on vacation. When I
Yeah.
roll out, then I'll definitely take them, or we could stuff them in your
I'll remind you.
stuff
For
them
sure.
in a whole suitcase and take it on the plane with you.
There you go. So, something that happened today, kind of. Mike and I were, in a little group chat, group text. Mike and Kelly and I, and then we'll get on to news. But this is it's kind of important, man, because it ruined a break. So a driver, I'm not going to mention his name, a good driver. So he was on a 34-hour reset using PC legally, and then he stopped and went to see if he could get in to get a haircut. Turned the truck off, pulled his brakes, went in, comes back out put himself back on PC, which is the right thing to do. Took off down the road. Everything's good. He's still PCing halfway through his 20 hours into his 34. And then he stops up the road maybe 10 minutes later. It does the same thing to see if, I don't know, see if he could get a haircut there or whatever. But he stopped again, pulled his brakes, and went in. When he came back out, he didn't put himself back on PC. What happens when you move the truck after you stop on PC? Everybody knows. Goes to driveline.
Yeah.
And at first he tried to tell me that he's never heard of that. Why does it take you off the status you're on? I said, because you stopped and you pulled your brakes.
Because you've changed your duty status.
And he said, in 7 years I've been driving, I've never had that. And I said, well, let's just go back up. You just told me you just stopped 10 minutes before that, and you came back out and put yourself back on PC. And it moved, and that was perfectly the right thing to do, and it put you back on PC, didn't interrupt your brake. The second time, that's what you didn't do. And that there was the problem. And in his defense, man, it was an honest mistake. But he was hot and heavy at our safety department, and when he called because he asked them to fix it. And, it was just a few minutes on drive and messed up his brake. But they can't touch your drive line. They couldn't do it, and they couldn't do it. So he was pretty upset. He calmed down, but at the same time, you got to think about that. When you stop the truck, and Mike, we were texting about it. Drivers, when you're out on the road and you stop the truck, and say you're in a traffic backup, and you're sitting there for a minute or two. Have you ever seen your ELD? And I've been on many different ELDs. They all do it. It'll drop you. It'll take you automatically because the truck stopped. It'll throw you on the on-duty line if you were on drive. While you're sitting there.
5 minutes. After 5 minutes, it will.
Okay. Well, if you go in place and pull your brakes, you stop, it's going to do the same thing. Well, if you're on an off-duty status like PC, and you stop the truck and pull your brakes or what have you, it's going to do the same thing. It's going to do the same thing, but it's not going to throw it. It's going to take you from that off duty instead of putting you on duty. It's just going to, that PC move, when you stop, it's just going to put you to off duty. So you have to tell the ELD what your intention are when you move the truck. It's
just like
real
the
simple.
Spock box.
Yeah, it's real simple. And that's the kind of rule we all have to get in our head. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, drivers. If you're going to move the truck, you got to tell your ELD what you're moving it for, a off-duty PC or an on-duty function, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
So who do you got to be mad at if that's
Me,
the
myself,
case?
and I.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's a user error. It is a human error. I mean, but it's
It
just
is.
like, it's things you forget about, just like when you drive an automatic transmission or manual automated, the way that Henry Albert said, you do have to do the thinking for the device. What he
Right.
called what I guess was penned as a Spock box. But I thought, and I'm checking now, but I think it's basically a modification on the driveline. Which system was that on?
He's on TransFlow.
On TransFlow?
Yeah, he couldn't be changed.
Checking that right now, and it may be the provider. I believe that in my provider I can change it, but it does log it, showing that it was changed and overridden on a driveline status.
So that's the frustrating part. So that I know he screwed up and you didn't do it, because I've done the same. I did the same exact thing and ruined a brake. But you can't. I'm pretty sure you can edit it. Metalurg just won't, because of the red flags that it raises.
Correct.
But you can edit it. and
Well,
that's
it
where the
does. I mean, that's
frustration
why they have parameters set the way they do. Because, I mean, let's be real with it. The companies that are out there changing driveline, that's the companies those are the companies that are getting scrutinized when they go through.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with it, but I mean, you can't tell me you can't tell on something like that. You can tell when somebody's screwing with the driveline for out, you know what I mean? And a 1 minute mistake that screws up a 34-hour reset, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and,
Yeah.
and I'm kind of the common sense approach here. I tend to agree with Mike a little bit, and I get it. It's because it's always abused, right? This is something if
Yeah.
you open up Pandora's box and people know about it, and people say, "Well, you know, it was just a mistake, and I just moved over 5 miles an hour when I was at the dock." Like, I get that, but I also get the fact that like this is our livelihood, and when mistakes are made, you know, generally it used to be a crayon and a book, right, or 3 books, however you ran it. You know, I know everybody handles things differently, but I'll stop there.
2 crayons and 4 books.
Different color crowns
Yeah.
too, so you
Yeah.
know which one's the end.
Yeah, only
Yeah.
pull one out for mom and dad to look at.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
and everybody
uh,
has a different interpretation as to how you can use PC
Well,
too.
Yeah,
so.
that's
And
Yeah,
also,
that's a big
you know,
part
I'm just going to tell you this, and I think, Christian, you may have been through this. I know I have. Have you ever sat through a DOT audit, not a driver with a driver at the side of a scale house, but I'm talking about your company and then how they and with an officer in your office digging
Not
through
without
your
an
stuff.
elevated heart rate, no.
Yeah. So there's reasons why companies put in place, hey, this is our policy. We're going to follow exactly what the DOT wants us to do. These are their parameters, and we're going to stay with it. And honestly, we don't mess with the drive time. We're not going to mess with the drive line. I mean, everybody knows that.
Yeah.
Well, I know on the few trucks that we have here on the other authority, it is something that we have touched before, but it's only in situations like this. It is only a guy getting a haircut, and you know we do research it because that's the first place when it happens. That's the first thing they're going to open up. They're going to look at your PC time, they're going to look at your violations, you know, your jump miles when miles magically appear on a truck or something becomes unplugged. But we do, and we make sure we document it and do it properly. Now I'm going to say it probably happens twice a quarter, right? If
Yeah.
that. Actually, probably twice every 6 months. But when it happens, we do permit it because there is a huge boiling frustration on that side. I get exactly where Meadowlark's coming from. I also get where the driver's coming from, I think. And that's the unfortunate part about compliance is the law doesn't care about your feelings, you know?
And I agree with our stance as a company as a whole with our safety department because, you know, those scores are important to us. When you go try and book freight, you know, when those scores are down, it's difficult.
Yep.
And so that affects every driver. So I do agree. Secondly, it was an honest mistake, and I feel bad for the driver. But, you know, you did the right thing 10 minutes prior to that. It wasn't like you – and then you tried to tell me you didn't know that it does that. Well, why did you go to put yourself back on PC 10 minutes prior to that? You know, you stopped, pulled your brakes, got out of the truck for a minute or two, came back, put yourself back on PC, drove – stopped up the road 10 minutes later, did the same thing, but then forgot to put yourself back on PC. And, you know, it's a mistake. You know, where it kind of rubbed me the wrong way was how much that he got on to our safety person. And our safety person just took it. I talked to Trish today, and you know, our guy just took it. And he's thick-skinned. He understood that the guy was frustrated, and you know, he just told me, "I'll call me back in 15 minutes when you cool off." Hey, because he had taken enough.
Nice, create some distance. Good.
Yeah, but you know, part of it is, look, we all make mistakes, and that was an error on his part. It sucks, but at the same time, I mean, don't lose your mind, you know, over a mistake you made and blame the whole world and take it out on people.
Yeah, be accountable. Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
You're talking about audits and stuff. I can remember a company I used to work for in Iowa. The DOT man that did the audit come in. He looked. He says he wanted to see the list of the names of the drivers. He went down the list and he seen my name was on it. He says, I want his first.
Your logs.
Yeah, my logs first.
Well, you were the first truck driver in the country, so they know.
So you start. You brought your
No,
stone and
that
chisel
was-
in the front door.
That wasn't it. The guy that was doing the audit has been friends with me ever since I was a young kid. He just happened to get the DOT job and seen I worked there, and he knew my past history. He wanted to see mine first.
Yeah, he knew he was going to find something wrong with you.
Yeah, but he didn't.
Your logbook
He
looks like a
didn't
mountain
find nothing
range.
wrong.
And so
He
there,
didn't
Go ahead,
find a
Christian.
thing wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just saying that there's a pattern too when you're in your safety and compliance, and what Trish and everyone up in that office has to work with is not only are the scores with you, and we talked about this 2 and 3 years, depending if it's a driver or company record, but then as you enter different peer groups or inspection levels based on the number of inspections, the number of violations, that slope gets a lot steeper and a lot slippier. So, when you start getting in that condition and your scores raise, you're profiled more. It's kind of like if all 6 of us rode around at 2 a.m. with tinted windows and, 24-inch wheels and air ride, we're going to get pulled over.
A lot more. You're
a
gonna
lot
get
more.
pulled.
And so what happens, those scores are generally a profile, and you're based on your class of people. So you may not become much worse. You may only have 1 violation, but if everybody else was clean in your group, you're getting a lot worse. So it only takes 1 90-point violation on a roadside. I think Russ, you were gone when I went on my rant the other day and cussed online, but it only takes that 1 violation to jack up your scores, and then everybody else pays the price for it. And luckily, this hasn't gone to an issue, but the right thing to do when you have that violation is to let the full hours of service catch up. So this way, it shows in good faith to the DOT that, by the way, the mistake was made, and we waited till we got our full break and/or our full 34, which was our intent.
And that's what I told him, and that's what Trish and I talked about. You could do a 10 and run your recap, and that's fine. But his recap was rugged. I mean, there wasn't much, Mike. He had like 5 hours tomorrow.
How long in the 34?
20 hours.
Just 20 hours in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hard news, but
it is. Lesson. But at the end of the day, and I totally agree, we're not going to jeopardize a whole fleet of getting pulled in more and getting scrutinized and audits just because one guy thinks that he made a mistake, so we should change our method of operation. It's not going to happen, and I totally stand with that. It's for the greater good.
That would be perfect to happen to me at the house.
Yeah, with your break?
That'd be perfect to happen to me if I were at the house,
Oh, yeah, because you can stay in the pool.
Turn that 34-hour reset into 68.
That's what Ray does on purpose. He goes out, starts his truck, moves 5 feet. He's like, Ian,
3 hours.
Ian, I messed up my 34. I'll see him.
I call my dispatcher. Hey, we got a problem, dispatcher. Can't do it.
You ever left early on a 30-minute break at 29?
I've never done it, but I've seen a lot of guys do it. Yeah.
I've seen Irene Nieto take the valve stem out of his pool floaty, so this way he had to get another inspection. I've seen that.
That's funny.
Oh yeah.
So Ian,
I couldn't find a floaty in the shape of a truck, so that kind of sucks.
Ian, what's going on in the world of trucking news?
Oh yeah, we still doing this day in history thing?
You can do it anytime you want. You guys,
all right,
throw it out there. Whoever wants to bring it each week can bring it.
All right, I'll start with that then. June 8th, 1906. Good old Teddy Roosevelt signed in the Antiquities Act, which really laid down the framework for the national parks and all that we have today. Started out with just national monuments, and the first one was Devil's Tower out in South Dakota. If anyone's ever been there, so
I love the national parks.
Yeah,
I've been to most of them.
That was something that was important to me, so I wanted to share it.
Yeah.
So. It says I cannot share my screen.
What?
It says
he'll fix that. What'd you say, Jim?
I got a thing in history that Russ, you'd probably appreciate.
Go for it while he's getting the news ready.
Okay, in 1947, this TV show was first aired. It was
Hogan's Heroes?
Lassie's.
I liked Lassie when I was a kid.
The Munster.
Yes, today in 1947. Today being Wednesday.
How long did it air? How many years?
That I can't answer.
A long time, because I watched it as a kid.
Yeah, I was going to say. We probably watched reruns, though, Kevin.
Well, that's probably true.
Because I was a 70s baby, and you were
I
probably
can remember being black
80s.
and white.
I was the 80s.
Yeah. I don't remember the black and white ones, Jim. That's you're dating yourself, and I'm 50.
Sit down and listen to the tube radio.
Yeah, I think we got color in the 70s, right?
Yeah, I think so.
The whole world came to color.
60s, maybe.
60s.
Yeah.
60s? Yeah, the whole world came to color in the 60s.
Yeah.
Because I remember I was like 7, 8 years old and, watching Batman, and that was in color.
Yeah. Mr. Ed was in black and white too, wasn't it?
Which would be in 67, 66,
Adam West?
somewhere in that area.
Yeah.
Adam West
definitely wasn't
was
Michael
Batman.
Keaton.
No.
Yeah, wasn't Mr. Ed black and white too, or was that color?
Yes. The very
Well,
first
that's
ones
okay.
were.
Yeah, I
think-
kind of figured that.
I think they were black and white.
All right, here we go on to some news. All right, so L.A. Harbor is what we're looking at right here. Not really too much going on. The volumes are down this year, especially this month, last month. But they got approved for a budget increase. Right now, they're at 1.7 billion. They got approved up to 1.9. So they're gonna be adding some more money into the port there.
Like infrastructure to the port, does it say?
It's mostly just because of the cargo increase from.
Okay, so they can handle
last. Yeah.
more
Yeah.
cargo.
I didn't really get to read too deep
Yeah.
into exactly what it's going into. They are going to be expanding some things though. So, yeah, and then while we're on the subject of ports, we're gonna go ahead and look at Shanghai because that has been quite a disturbance. It is starting to open up again, but won't be fully open until later this month. And still, who knows if that's being honest. There are so many ships out here waiting to get in. It's totally insane. Let's see.
That's insane.
Yeah,
it's all lit up like your head, like
wait.
your hair.
You might have already said this, but are they still like on lockdown?
Yeah. So they are on lockdown. They are going to be
Like COVID lockdown?
correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
But they are slowly opening back up again.
Yeah. So the port's open, but the country's closed, right?
I wouldn't even say that the port is fully open.
Yeah, but it's partially operational. The port's
Yeah.
partially operational, but but most Shanghai is shut down still.
Oh yeah. Crane Worldwide Logistics is advising its clients to build in 3 to 4 weeks advance notice to request a vessel. So it seems better than last year, but still not great. And they are saying that while prices are down, they are still historically high. Long-term contract rates have soared up to 150% year to year.
So it sounds to me like just common sense, and Christian, chime in, or Mike. So they're shut down. Their ports are, shipping a minimal. When they open back up here soon, it seems like the floodgates are going to get open, and then 2 to 3 weeks or however long that we get stuff hitting the West Coast from there, we're going to hit another crunch.
Yeah, and it could be months, really, with how things are going. Because I mean, they're going to open back up again, but it's going to be so hard to just start moving them through again. Crazy prediction, but I think that this year it's going to be tougher to get product for.
We need to move
for the
Christmas to
holiday
March
season.
right
Yeah,
now. We need to move
they
Christmas
need to, start,
to March, and New Year's can be in February, and at least we'll have a good holiday.
seems like-
I'm half kidding because even if it opens up, you still have orders that are going to need to be made because people aren't making orders because they're not sure they're going to make products, and now you have a scared economy, right? Starting to get frightened, and interest rates going up. So, who's doing the investing and putting product on the shelves that might not sell?
It just seems like a huge clog that when they get the drain open up, and it slowly starts pushing west. It's gonna bottleneck again at some point.
I hope it hyper intensifies everything. Yep.
Yeah,
it could. Absolutely.
But there's one of the guys on Freightways a while back said that that's not what he would expect based off of the models that they have and how other people have gone around Shanghai to help their shipping needs. So I'm not sure if the other coastline, if you're going to cover that or not. See how busy Georgia and Savannah and all that are.
Well, actually, that was my next topic was Savannah. It is blown up more than we saw it in the crunch last year. Savannah's, they got a whole bunch of ships out here waiting to get in. So Savannah's doing great.
There's your volume.
Yeah. They can't get enough in there. So,
and that's funny because isn't Savannah one of the top export ports for us in America? I believe it is.
I'm not sure.
So you got ships waiting and they're bringing ships into, more ships in there. I think I read that.
I think
Makes
it's
sense.
number one for import on the East Coast.
Import. Okay, I thought it was number one export.
I don't know about exporting. Yeah.
Or number 1 or 2 or something like that.
So, on to some other stuff. It seems like every week we have another one of these. Somebody in a trucking company was shelling out a whole bunch of money to themselves. This guy got $432,000 that he's going to have to
Pretty good rate.
find a way to repay. But he is in a lot of trouble. And it's Texas again. Surprise, surprise. What's going on down there in Texas, Ray?
Don't you worry
Why is
about it.
everyone stealing money from their from their own companies?
Oh no, man.
It's a big state, man.
Yeah.
Ray just lives there.
I want answers, Ray.
We are getting a lot of Californians move to Texas. That's for sure.
He's blaming it on Californians.
Yeah, that happened real quick.
All right. Over in Arizona, a driver ran into a Walmart and they ended up shutting it down. I don't think that they know the entire story, but he did get arrested for DUI. But
I was gonna say he probably waited.
It's a way to
too
make an
long
entrance.
yeah,
Is that a train?
I wonder if
Look
they
at
made
that
him wait too
sleeper.
long.
Speaking of Walmart, that's who bought the heir to Walmart's the one who bought the Broncos, right?
No, that driver did.
He's in trouble now.
Yeah, it was the son of Sam Walton, I think, that bought it. I'm pretty sure
The son of Sam.
son of Sam Walton bought the Denver Broncos for $4.65 billion
I
or
wonder
whatever.
if he can repair that wall.
Oh, he can.
Now
Imagine
we
what his
we
taxes
really don't
look
know
like.
what happened with this, but just an idea, shippers and receivers. If you keep your guy too long, who knows what's going to happen? You know,
It's crazy town. Look at
Yeah.
that.
hypotheticals.
There's
I thought he
proof.
was. I thought he was doing that for like all the drivers.
There's
out
your
there.
proof. Walls don't keep them out.
Oh my god.
All right, Indiana's getting a toll road increase about 9%. So
On 80? Yeah, that's wrong. I think that's wrong. Toll road.
keep your eyes out. Try to avoid the toll road over there
So
if you can.
almost a 10% increase.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
That is a
it's
lot,
expensive.
especially when you start adding on axles.
I'm gonna guess. Drivers help me out with this because it's been a while in a truck that I ran across there, but it's about $80. I think it's more expensive on 80 through Ohio, but 80 across Indiana.
I have
Is
no
it-
idea.
This
I
says-
don't.
Yeah,
use the toll road up
$66.
Yeah,
Truck-
I always
truck
drop down
drivers-
to the US 30.
there. Yep.
Yeah,
that's what
I
always
used
do.
to avoid it too, but I've ran it a few times. I was gonna guess nowadays it would be like close to 80.
Yeah, no, it says $66.30 for an end-to-end trip. Will now pay $72.88.
Okay, and that's the cheapest state for tolls on 80, because Ohio's 100 and something, and Pennsylvania. Well, Pennsylvania's not a toll road on 80, but 76 is outrageous in
76,
Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 76 is more than $1 a mile, I believe.
If you stay on 70 and run 70 over to 76, I know it's $80 to run 76 from 70 over to Breezewood.
Yeah, and that's not that's half of the way to Philly, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, they're
Yeah,
saying that
that's
they're doing this because they've done nearly $600 million in investments since 2016. So, do you think it shows on their roads, guys?
I would
I don't
like
know,
to see
you
a
just
profit
drove-
and loss. I like to see a
Oh.
profit and loss statement.
Well,
I
That's
did just
that's
drive
exactly
it.
what I was going to say.
Ian just drove up there to see his brother over the last weekend.
Yeah, no, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
It definitely worse when you get to Akron.
So I got a question. With that huge investment that they made, were they eliminating and putting automated tolls in to make more money in the future? So they raise it now. And is
Could
that
be.
I don't think it was any kind of infrastructure with the toll booths, so to speak, because they're all old. I mean, I went up there not that long ago.
because
Their
I know
booths
some
are old.
states are swapping out their people for machines.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You have
Illinois is.
Some of them, yeah, like Illinois, Pennsylvania's
New
been
York.
doing it too, where they'll just bill you later.
Matter of fact, I'll tell you something. When we went to Nate's wedding, when was that? Last summer, Ian?
Yeah.
So we
October.
we all drove up that way through there on 80, Ohio, then Indiana. And then I got stuck at a toll booth where there was no person. It was where you get your ticket.
Mm-hmm.
When I entered, I think it was when I entered Indiana. So to get my ticket, you have to press a button, and I pressed it, and no ticket came out, and the gate thing wouldn't open, and I had a line of cars behind me, and I'm like, I had to get out of the car, sitting there, and people were honking until they saw me get out, and I had to walk a couple booths over where I saw a person in a booth and explain to them. and they came over there and gave me a ticket and raised the gate, and it was a nightmare.
How many fingers behind you did you see?
Yeah,
a lot.
I can't think of a more stressful
Yeah,
that is
an anxiety attack.
Yeah.
You had 20 people behind you calling
Back
you
up.
number one.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And on the
Ohio guy.
topic of money, New York State is suspending diesel fuel taxes for the rest of 2022.
So that's good news.
Hey, fill up in there, but even then, it's still already pretty pricey in New York, I'm pretty sure. So, still cheaper than Pennsylvania.
How's that going to help us with the IFTA, though? I mean, we're still going to owe it one way or another, aren't we? If we travel through New York?
Really? That
Yeah,
wouldn't be
so-
part of this, you don't think?
That's a sales tax on motor fuels, what they're suspending here, right? It says fuel tax suspension will include motor, excise tax, sales tax, commuter transport fuel. So it does look like it's
Motor excise tax.
Yeah. But they'll still fine you if you don't file your New York cut. So still make sure you
Yeah.
file.
They'll get it. They'll get it one way or another.
And cat scales are increasing prices as well.
This is a roller coaster of news.
What are they now, guys?
Everything is going up.
$13 right now.
It's what? 10?
It's $13 right now.
$13.
Yeah,
That's what
so
it
it's
just went up to.
increasing
13 and a quarter,
from
I think.
$12.50 to $13, and then a reway is now going to be $3.50, up from $3.
Wow.
Yeah, I already paid that price.
But the price
Yeah,
of
Laredo.
Arizona tea is still $1, I think. Hey.
There we go.
Something to look forward to. And ending on a different note, you guys ever seen a bobtail kind of looking like this?
Wow.
That is a 57 millimeter anti-aircraft gun mounted to the back of this truck. This is over in Ukraine.
At the pawn shop?
So,
You need to put a red flag at the end
Yeah,
of
I
that
want to
barrel.
see if he smiles when he shoots it.
I was.
Oh, yeah,
Look
he's
at
smiling.
Rocky.
That's
He's
for
having
sure.
a great
Look at
time.
Ian's having a great time just watching it. Ian loves that
I would
kind of stuff.
love for that to be me. So,
Yeah.
all right, that's all I got for you guys.
That was good,
Nice
Ian.
job, man.
So there's one thing that happened in Texas. There was a company that was shut down because of numerous violations and everything, and the DOT shut them down. Well, then, come to find out, they just changed their name, used the same stuff, and went out and started running all over again, and they got caught.
That was Texas too, you said?
That was in Texas. I just seen that the other day.
Yeah, I think it was
saw
on
that
CDL
already.
Life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I thought, wow, what balls is that?
Right.
Yeah, it's
Texas
insane.
balls.
So Christian's got a screen share for us. We can go into that, Christian, and then we'll take it out with trucking and fishing questions with Kumar.
Yeah. Give me one hot minute. You want to do the trucking questions first, or maybe just give me 30 seconds of my
You
time?
got
I've
it.
got a little Ray clip here that I'm.
You
gonna
got
put
it.
together.
You got it. Joel's got a joke.
Mine's a little longer than that, but
What, your joke?
yeah, no, 30 seconds.
Doty looks like he's going to be sick right now.
He's
Yeah,
on
Mike-
the phone.
I know.
Oh, so I guess he can't answer any questions. I'll screen share this here. Give me one sec. Well, I mean, you could fill in, Ian. Just show us a picture of your hair or something.
I was going to say, it looks like Doty got a new chair, but it's not the one that I was.
There you
boy.
go, Ian.
I thought you said hair.
Air horn on the hair.
Oh, not chair.
I'm
offensive.
Slim Shady, the real Slim
So-
Shady, with all the other Shadies.
It's a little
We
messy
stand
today.
up.
All right, so you know what? I'm going to screen share. I had a funny little ditty for Ray, but I won't be able to share it.
There's Robert Selby.
Robert Selby.
Are we on 60? Episode
Yeah, 60, right?
Yeah, episode 60.
All right, so we're going to run right into occupancy first. I have 5 drivers here. The first one is out of Texas, so the things we're going to be measuring is their revenue as well as their occupancy. The first driver out of Texas was delivered in Jacksonville, Florida on Tuesday, and I ran this week from Sunday to Saturday. Doesn't make too much of a difference, but it's the way my report ran this week. So from Jacksonville, he ended up delivering to Goodlettsville, Tennessee, and then he went up to Missouri and out to Iowa. His overall goal was $9,500. He was short on that goal, but he did do over $8,000 on 3,300 miles at $2.43 a mile. And that is measuring all miles. We don't measure loaded miles around here because it's a false mile. So every mile that we do measure is all miles. It's loaded and empty. Driver B is out of Florida. He did deliver in Texas on Monday from a weekend run. After that, he delivered in Louisiana. ran $3,100 on 853 miles to Virginia, and then a $2 mile run out of Virginia back off that 363 he took to get out there, going out towards Missouri. So he did 3,082 miles. Oh, there we go. 100% occupied for this gentleman. And the same with driver B. Boy, I probably should remember what I put in the slideshow. So driver B also had 100% occupancy, 3,082 miles at $2.60. Driver C, his home is in West Virginia. Tuesday, he dropped in Robert, Louisiana, and then he dropped in Fort Smith, Arkansas, rolling out to Virginia and then Georgia. He did hit $7,750, just shy of his $8,000 goal, $2.48 on 3126 miles, 100% occupancy again. That's the consistent theme you'll see is as these continue to pop up, is that these drivers were occupied the entire week. Driver D, the same thing. He was out there. This is Ohio-based driver, and it was Rhode Island, dropped from customer freight. End up doing a 2 for there on Thursday for 2 deliveries, dropped 1 and did a straight through, went to Evansville and then State College, Pennsylvania. Driver E is from Pennsylvania, does a lot more of the Northeast runs, mostly because of where they live and it's easier to get home during the weekends. So made a delivery this time on a weekend on Sunday, another one in Lee, Mass on Tuesday, Carlisle, Pennsylvania, and then went to Wintersville, Ohio, and Dunkirk. Was down for 1 day for maintenance, but we still count that as occupancy because they were out on the road for that period of time and they made good use of their hours of service. So all of these drivers had a 100% occupancy with the exception of driver E, but he was out on the road. Most of them fell short just a couple $100 from their target, with the exception of the top target, which was 9,500, and they normally reach that. The interesting thing is, let's look at the different states that they ran in. So there's driver A. Florida, and basically went up to Iowa. Driver B was in Texas, ran up, went to Virginia, back out to Missouri. Driver C kind of made a southwest to southeast, or a south to mid-Atlantic run, and then back. And then you look at driver D, really stayed right in that Indiana over to the northeast. And the driver E was just stuck in the northeast, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Rhode Island the whole time. So there are a bunch of different routes that you can take, and we found out that our drivers were successful in different areas. The one thing I wanted to cover were, like, you know, we have this day in history. I guess we'll do Sneed's pick. Like, where would I go if I had a truck right now? My answer unequivocally is Savannah, Georgia. That's where I'd go, and that's where I'd stay. I
heard there's some boats there.
Yes, thank you. Ian with the news forecast. Yes, we do have boats that are there, and there is freight. If you look at what we're looking at here, there's a 14-to-1 ratio. So it's about as tight as you can get. It's as very tight Savannah market as you can look. On the bottom of this page, as we've covered before in the DAT analytics, so this is for the prior business day for a dry van. It looks a lot the same way for a reefer right now, but when you look at the load count, this is a high load volume for any area right now. Savannah typically has a higher load. Atlanta generally has a higher load than Savannah, but Savannah's up there. So you're looking at, 2,750 loads, right, at the peak, which is the midday. So this starts off at 7 a.m., 6 a.m. So by about 11 o'clock, that's what their peak is. There's 4,000 different load searches, but there are 5,300 van searches. If you look, the gray boxes here are freight, and the trucks are the small brown ones, or the darker blue, gray, whatever that is.
So as you go and name your price in Savannah. Outbound.
Yes. And, so we had a load that was booked, two loads booked today, one for, it was $9 in fuel surcharge because it was like 30 miles, something like that. And it was either $1,000 or $1,200, $1,300 next day. Now, I'm not saying do that. I'm saying that rate would generally be a lot higher. That driver showed up late in the afternoon tonight that's going to pick up. We picked up that load so we can pick it up, grab it, go to sleep, wake up, have your full clock, and then end up pushing 500 or 600 miles out of there if they had to. But yes, it is name your rate. If they were going to go 500 or 600 miles and you had a choice, this is where I'd go. I'd go right here, mostly because they've got really good food, and capacity is also tight. You're looking at a load to truck ratio here of 15.6, very similar to Savannah. Look at the rate index below. Savannah at 11 o'clock was at 2,700. We're looking at 2,400 loads at the peak. And look how many small trucks. So again, like Russ said, you should be able to name your rate. If you can't, just wait a little bit, because trucks have not been entering the market down here yet, right? So when trucks aren't in the market and they're not posting up and there's freight to be moved, those rejections are higher. We have brokers having hard conversations with their bosses about why they're not making as much money. or they're going back to the customer and having to ask for more to get it moved. Or if a customer is moving into the spot market and taking quotes, people understand it's a rough market and they're not going to wager on a several $100 margin. So this way they have some meat off that bone.
I didn't see your mouse or whatever. So where are you saying to go?
Okay, cool. You can't see this mouse.
It's the screen's far from me. I don't have one sitting real close. So
Washington State, Russ.
Wow, could not be more misleading. That's hilarious. So we're in Louisiana right now. So the first part we are in Savannah, and then if we're going to take a 500-600 mile trip,
you're going to go to Louisiana. Okay,
Louisiana,
Blinder than Doty.
Yeah, I might need to go see Mike's brother.
Louisiana.
The screen that I watch, just so you know, Christian, is at least 10 feet across the room from me.
You know, you have one 3 feet to your right too, right?
Yeah,
it's got two.
I like the bigger one though.
I can tell it's really helpful. I can tell.
I got a new one too, by the way, Christian. Look at this.
Air horn.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. HP. That's a HP 360, isn't it?
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Hey, if that screen ever screws up, if the screen ever goes sideways on you, tilt your computer. Yeah. Okay. We had that problem. We chased it for 5 hours and we got upset. And when Amanda tilted the computer, it fixed itself. I'm like, oh, it works as a tablet too. That's cool. Oh, really? So that's Louisiana. That's the other place that we would go 15.6 on the ratio. So you figure there's 4,000 pieces of freight and roughly 262 trucks. Nice. That's a name your rate. And then the last place here would also be the Houston market. They are right at 5,000 loads,
which
and that
I
is
always love. Yeah,
it is a great market. And you know what it's close to? It's also close to Louisiana. Yeah. And there are a lot of brokers out there that don't look at the data. They just look at their RFQs and RFPs, and they say, "Oh, hey, this is what we have in it." So if they were bidding this during a good season, they may not know that Louisiana is where it needs to be, or even getting a shuttle over to Dallas, and Dallas is good right now. But you're looking at the same thing. You're looking at 17.4 loads per truck. Let me reiterate: if you're in the area and you don't get the rate you want, you need to quit your job. I mean, it's 17.41. Negotiate, make more phone calls, hit them a little harder.
Yeah. If they're saying no, it doesn't mean the market's not good there and you're in an area where you got 17-to-1 load to truck ratio. That means that you just hang up the phone and they bid it wrong and call somebody else until they're ready to. Yeah.
And if they're offended, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah.
You know, the only thing you would do is just tell them, hey guys, there's 11,000 pieces of freight and only 600 trucks in this area. I'm going to go find something else. And then they get to explain that to whoever they want.
Yeah.
Also, we still have more Blitz coming up. Thank goodness for safety and compliance. So scheduled for July 10th to the 16th. During this, the enforcement efforts through North America are going to look out for not frisky, but risky business. So any risky driving behaviors that you have, you shouldn't be having them. Things like not wearing a seatbelt, lane changes, speeding, a lot of those habits will be included on this. I think they generally call that Operation Speed Week there. And then brake safety check week, again, August 21st to the 27th. Not sure, but the guys that did not stay and participate on the road, those that did stick around got to get rewarded for it. And lastly, this day in history, in 1844, the Young Men's Christian Association, known as the YMCA, and that is we can't play that on here because we'll get taken off air, was founded in London in 1844. That's my share.
It's fun to stay there.
I gotta say, man, we have a YMCA here. It's the first time I ever went there for gym purposes, to work out. Joel and I used to go before COVID to the Y a few days a week here. It's a great facility for a gym. It really is here in Barberton. It's just about as good as Barberton chicken, isn't it, Joel?
Oh, wow.
Not quite.
I spent my childhood at a YMCA because my mom always.
That's Barberton chicken?
Yeah.
Barberton chicken.
Go to the gym with Barberton chicken bucket and a 2-liter of Mountain Dew.
That'll look good at Planet Fitness.
Well, I told you,
Planet Fitness has a Diet Coke in their hand.
There was a time that Joel and I left the office, and we had like 2-3 days a week. We go right after work.
We're still young.
So there was a driver who's always friends of ours and stayed around. You know who I'm talking about, Joel. Yeah. He's like, well, I'm gonna go. He was at the office. He's like, well, I'm gonna go to the gym with you guys. We're like, okay. And he's as country as they come. And he goes in the gym with cowboy boots, I think they were, and a 2-liter of Mountain Dew and jeans and a flannel. And we're working in the squat machine, and he's making fun of us because that's all you can lift, and he's chugging his Mountain Dew. And finally I'm like, well, why don't you get in there and show us? And he gets in there and was ready to start, and then he's like, and he's a big boy too, and he's like, oh, I really can't. I hurt my back when I get getting out of the truck. You remember that, Joel?
Couldn't get a load the next day. Couldn't move.
And he didn't even do a squat.
Did you guys take that Barberton chicken whey protein premix? Pre-workout mix?
Yeah. You got to send me the link for that.
Need the recipe.
We got to get Doty and Doty and Christian to try. We got to get them some Barberton chicken. I heard they ship it.
I'm not eating it.
FedEx ships it overnight.
You don't want it, Christian.
Not here. They don't.
Wet dog.
No.
Yeah.
Bojangles is
I'm
better.
going to Quality Meats.
Because I was shipping Tom some Ohio stuff one day, and I was in the FedEx office, and my box was kind of heavy because I sent him some Ohio pasta sauces and different things in jars, and the lady said, "Oh, no." I said, "It's a little much, but I'm trying to hook my buddy up and some Ohio things." He sent me a box with some stuff from where he's from, and she said, "Oh no, the Barberton chicken guy comes in here all the time. People just love it. He ships it in cooler boxes all over the place." The FedEx lady told me that.
The grease just ruins.
We can get
boxes.
it to you.
I'm good.
I'll probably send you the tortillas that way.
You could do
can
that.
you can wrap a piece of Barberton chicken in the tortilla.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Man, Christian, I'm going to look out for your health, and I will not let them send you any.
I have not been looking after my health for a long time, and I still won't eat that. And that's
It's crazy because Ian's a fried chicken connoisseur. I guess, yeah. If you need advice on fried chicken, you should go to.
Don't
Ian.
go to Barberton.
I like it. I mean, it's a heart attack in a box. Everything's the same color, the fries, everything.
I still have to try it. I feel like I have to.
Hey,
So anyway,
Ray,
guys, let's get on to some trucking.
Can Ray
and-
see the screen?
What's that?
Can Ray see the screen?
Ray can. Yeah, he can see. He's at home.
Okay, so he can see it. Okay, well, I didn't get to put Ray's face or anything in it. Can you all see the truck? You were saying you didn't have a truck floaty, Ray, and I was thinking,
there you go.
you're only
You can do
$100 away, and I think the hood opens.
Whoa.
Really?
Yeah, man. So
So,
did I get
so
to
what
take my
I'm
head out of the
thinking
hood?
is you use the pickup bed one, fill that up with water, put the pickup floaty in it.
yes,
And then put something inside the hood. Fill that up.
Truck.
that Summer Waves inflatable truck bed pool was the most Texas thing I could think of. But I was trying to get a picture of Ray in it, but I ran out of time while we were talking. So
Pull a trailer.
Oh, that's cool.
All right, man.
So,
Man.
trucking and fishing questions with Kumar.
Let's go.
All right,
Drivers will battle Kumar, see who's smarter about trucking and about fishing.
ready? Based on Joel's questions.
So this week it's I think who had it. So it was between me and Doty last week, right, Doty?
Yeah.
So it's double or nothing this week. But we're gonna put it. But it's Christian. Who do you want, Christian? Drivers, or do you want Kumar? $40 this week because we tied last week to the St. Jude's.
I'm gonna go with Kumar.
He's going with Kumar.
Good choice.
I'll take the drivers. Speaking of that, Kumar, did you get anywhere with the St. Christopher rep? Because we got to collect this money up.
Oh, not yet. I'm going to do that tomorrow.
Okay. Soon as he gets the rep and gets a chance to a date to get him on to accept our donations, then you guys will hear from Kumar collecting our little $20 here and there or whatever you guys lost. So drivers, you gonna let me down this week? And we've been on a losing
So
streak.
I paid him
lately.
$3 a piece to lose. I hope.
I think you guys got to really talk about this amongst yourselves this week. It's $40.
That's like table talk.
Okay. Russ, you have the drivers on this?
Yes, keep Jim involved. Mackie, speak up. It's your team.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
All right.
He wants you guys equally responsible for losing
Yeah.
his money. Yep.
All right, Joel, take it away.
All right. Kumar, you ready for this?
I'm ready.
All right. Question number 1. How much Barberton chicken is there? We will skip that. Kumar, question 1. Air tank drains, A, are helpful to remove water and oil from the air tanks. B, should not be used in cold weather. C, are used to move air to the brakes, or D, should be drained out at least once a year?
Used to move air to the brakes.
Drivers, Kumar says air tank drains are used to move air to the brakes. Do you want to hear the options again?
Yes.
All right. A, are helpful to remove water and oil from the air tanks. B, should not be used in cold weather. C, are used to move air to the brakes. Or D, should be drained out at least once a year.
Damn it.
Oh, that was a good one. That was easy. Kumar smashed by the drivers.
Kumar. Yeah. And hey,
Smash
Jim,
that like button.
did you hear about the driver who turned over a trailer full of cows? How dare he? Question number 2. Kumar. Which of these fish prefer to feed in grass flats that are about 1.5 feet deep? Is it A, a trout? Is it B, a redfish? Is it C, a pinfish? Or is it D, a shad?
So it's a fish that likes to what?
Feed in grass flats that are about 1.5 feet deep.
Okay.
Pinfish.
Kumar says pinfish.
Pinfish. Kumar the fisherman.
Yep.
What saith you, Mike Doty?
Wait, he's not the driver.
Oh, never mind. He used to be a driver. Drivers.
I'm gonna go with Chad.
He says Chad.
You guys agree with him?
Kumar says
Kevin,
pinfish,
Nate?
a trout, or redfish.
Come on, Nate. You're from Indiana, man. I know you fish.
Yeah, I fish, but I don't keep track of fish names like that. I generally fish for two.
You don't know what a
things, and that's
pinfish
about
is?
it.
A chad?
He just kisses them and throws them back in the water.
No, I like catfish, so I generally fish for
There you go.
catfish.
Not 1.5 feet deep.
Old bottom feeder.
Yeah. Tilapia. All right. Well, if you didn't know, if you're fishing in brackish water at about 1.5 feet in the flats, more than likely you're going to catch a redfish.
Oh, a redfish.
Doty knew that, I bet.
Redfish. Redfish.
Don't you
yeah,
catch
I answered
redfish?
Bluefish.
Can you guys hear?
One
Yeah.
fish, two fish.
Hey, Mike, speaking of which, do you know what you call a fish that won't shut up? A big mouth bass. Question.
Hey, Joel,
Number
how do cats like their steak?
I don't know.
Rare.
Moving on. Question number 3. Kumar down 0-2. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Here we go. Trucking question. Listen up.
Come on, Kumar.
A, a loud horn. B, a battery-operated flashlight. C, a spare electrical fuse. Or D, a cell phone charger is an example of a required emergency equipment.
Do the options. I got confused.
All right.
Change the
You
order
do the
of
answers
questions.
first.
Yeah,
So
that
one of
screwed me up.
these is an example. One of these is an example
Of
of
required emergency
required
equipment.
emergency equipment.
Is it a loud horn, battery-operated flashlight, spare electrical fuse, or cell phone charger?
Those are all good. Okay, can you do the answers one more time?
All right.
I love
One more
it.
time
I
around.
was
Okay.
digging deep.
A loud horn,
Drivers, you know this.
battery-operated flashlight, spare electrical fuse, or cell phone charger.
I'll go spare electrical fuse. That seems important.
Kumar says
Doesn't a
spare
horn?
electrical fuse.
Think about this,
What happens
Kumar.
if your
You
cell
can
phone
yell.
Think
dies?
about it.
You can
Doesn't
Yeah.
a horn? Doesn't
not playing this game with
battery-powered
you.
flashlights?
Playing
Not
that
He
game
said
with
he's
you.
not playing that game with you.
All right. I
What do you
knew
say,
the drivers had it.
All right, they know. All right, so it's that was right. It's 1-2, 1 right, 2 wrong.
Wait, hold on. Who's winning?
You're
The
down.
drivers.
You're
I'm
down
down.
one.
Okay.
All right.
Hold on.
Come on,
The
come
first-
back, kid. Let's go.
The first question. Did I get that wrong?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
Okay,
you
all right,
totally
let's move on.
you got smacked.
It's
is what
2 to
I
1.
said.
Yeah. It's
Hey Nate, you still with us?
Yes, sir.
Hey, you know why the garbage truck driver was so sad?
Because he lost his teddy bear.
No, his girlfriend dumped him.
Oh.
Question number 4.
Really
Mitch
reaching.
Hedberg over here.
I know.
How many different types of goldfish are there? A, over 10, B, over 20, C, over 50, D, over 100.
Well, there's the pretzel ones. There's the pizza ones.
I've only seen like 3 myself, but what do you think?
There's the gold ones. We know that.
There's the ones that are like they're super cheeked up. They got the big cheeks.
Yeah.
We'll go 10 plus. I screwed it
Over
up.
10, over 20, over
The chubby
50,
cheek
over
goldfish.
100. How many
He
types
said
of
over 10.
goldfish?
Drivers, what do you think?
Over
I'm-
50.
Man.
Over 50?
Over 50?
What do you think, Ray? You with Jim?
Oh man.
What were the answers
Yeah,
again?
I'll agree with Jim.
What are the answers again?
Over 10, over 20, over 50, over 100. How many types of goldfish?
You agree, Kevin and Nate? Jim and Ray go with 50.
And I'd say over 20.
That's what I would say is over 20.
So
I
you
don't
guys
think
got to
there's enough
decide
speed.
what you're going to do collectively. 20 or 50?
100,000 or 10.
I mean, you got to think about it. If it's over 20, that could be all the way up to 50.
Yeah, if it's
Or
over 50,
more.
that could be.
I mean, I think it's.
No,
I'm not
wait
sure
a
I
minute.
understand your way
I'm
of
not
deducing
gonna
this
go over
answer.
So there's the chipmunk goldfish, the monkey goldfish.
He's going to name off 50 or 20 or 100 or whatever. What do you go with, drivers?
Blue goldfish. I guess I'll go with the 20. I'll go with the 20.
Mackie, they backed you out of this.
That's fine.
They're going 20. What is it, Joel?
All right. The answer is over 100 different species
I
of
knew it
goldfish.
was up there, man. That's a carp.
1 and
There's all
3.
kinds of them.
Yeah.
All right, so if we get this one right, Kumar, you still lose. Are we going to go with question 5?
Yeah.
Or are we gonna
No.
6?
You tie.
It would tie him. It's still 2-1 because they got it
That's
wrong
a
too.
trick question. That question was a trick question because everybody got it right.
Hey, Kumar, answer that question. Yes, that was technically a question. So you could answer that yes, get it correct. And then it'd be tied up.
Yeah, technically, but it was. I guess Joel should have said which one is it closer to, over 20, over 50, or
We got that right?
Well, what's
no.
Joel getting the
You got it
question,
wrong. So it's still 2-1, right?
All right.
Still
Yes.
2-1.
I thought it was
Yep.
3-1. All right.
Oh man, stupid
2-1.
goldfish.
Question 5, because
All right. Well, let's
Those
go
were
to
missed.
question 5. Kumar, if you were turning left at an intersection where there are 2 available turning lanes, is it A, is it best to use the right lane? Is it best to use the left lane? It doesn't really matter. What say you?
You're gonna want to use the left lane, and then once you get probably 100 feet away from the intersection, you're gonna want to get in the right.
okay, drivers, you pull up to an intersection. There's 2 turn lanes. Which one do you want to be in?
Right.
Turn left.
Huh?
The right,
Right lane.
turn left.
Right lane, yeah.
Oh,
It's over. It is over.
that was
Hey,
a
Ray.
good answer though.
Via con Dios,
I think
Kumar.
that's personal vehicles.
Via con Dios.
I have no idea what that means. It does not sound nice.
No, it says go with God. You're out of here.
Kumar, your
Yeah.
explanation was dead on, except you had the incorrect lane.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But you
is-
sounded
it's-
really confident. I mean,
Well, I thought I learned in driving school that you want to get into the left lane. and
You have a
get into
CDL?
Well, no, like
Okay,
this is
cool,
like-
just
This is
Okay.
trucking questions with
No,
Kumar.
I wasn't sure
this
if it
isn't
applied.
four-wheeling questions with
Not
Kumar,
your
it's trucking
Cavalier
questions.
with Kumar.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to use
You're
my
trying to
knowledge.
right?
So write
You
it
have a
down,
Cavalier?
Kumar.
All right.
Oh yeah, he had a yellow Cavalier.
$40.
Bright yellow.
40 bucks.
He's ran over 4 mailboxes.
The Sneed household
Yeah.
All right.
to St. Jude's.
This is
Thanks
the day
for
I
your
quit
donation.
gambling.
And guys, Mike Doty's had a toothache all day. He was a trooper and still stuck with us.
Nice.
So, Mike, we appreciate that.
Russ has a Vicodin.
I don't have a Vicodin. I don't take anything like that. I have some Prilosec OTC, though, for heartburn.
No, for a toothache.
So I was just saying, Mike, you had a toothache, and thanks for being a trooper and sticking with it. I know it's been driving you nuts all day. And also one thing I was talking to, I'm not going to say who because this is a undercover law enforcer, but I told you about it, Mike. I think he was talking to me about some like drug busts and stuff that had happened recently in Ohio with trucking. And I was blown away and some of his stories. And I go, well, just so you know, Doty on my show, he's going to be like Miami Vice with his son. He's driving a boat down the coast of Florida, and flying at high speeds on Friday afternoon, but has nothing to do with anything like that. He was cracking up. But so Doty, what do you want to tell us? You're going to be flying the high seas, high speed?
No, I'm just my brother might be buying my aunt's boat because they're moving to North Carolina. So they can't justify keeping it down here, but so I'm gonna drive it down to his house and
literally drive it.
It's kept in a high and dry. I don't have a trailer. We don't have a trailer or anything for it, and my brother's just gonna put it on his dock. So just taking it down there by water. It's about 130-mile run.
130-mile run, blowing the doors off of it, or the windows, whatever you call it, him and his son. And they're going to take a drone and get some footage of it while they're flying down the coast, like Crockett and Tubbs from Miami Vice. So we will get a clip of that. If Mike, I told you, Mike, send us a video. We'll give it to Kumar and Matthew and throw a clip up so we can show the viewers in the next week or two. But other than that, Christian, you got anything?
I do not.
Yeah. Joel?
Vanos Canios, or whatever you said.
Via con Dios.
I got one.
Kumar, Joel, what do you got?
What happens when you get 5 blank hunt drivers to leave a truck stop?
What?
You get 10 extra parking spaces.
On that note, we're out. Go Browns, go Indians, and go Guardians, and go Cavaliers, and go Boston Celtics in the series.